Hello and welcome to the Sketching Greyhound. How are you today? I am pretty good, and this is another live stream. Today we will be drawing, you do not have to guess it, you clicked the icon. We are drawing Bruce Banner, that is the human half of Hulk. The actor is Mark Ruffalo, so we're talking again MCU. Yeah, so if you don't know what you clicked on Sketching Greyhound, I am drawing 2 times live a week. So that is the Wednesday stream that you clicked on and the Friday stream where we are drawing Buffy related. So if you are a Buffy fan, or you want to become a Buffy fan, or you're just interested in art, or I don't know, talking to really cool people, visit us in the Friday stream or already on my Discord. You can find that in, I'm not sure, in this, I will put it in this description, so you will find it directly there. Yeah, so, exactly, I have clicked save, so you'll find my link tree down in the description. There you can find all my social media accounts like Twitter and Facebook and yeah, the Discord. So come join the community and we will switch to the drawing picture. Yeah, you can see the picture from Mark Ruffalo. Actually, I will have to move around a little bit right now, some windows here, so I can start drawing in a second. Hello and welcome, Liana. Hi, welcome to the stream. I actually thought you would not be able to make it today. Then that is probably next week. Or is it the weather? I hope the weather did not destroy your plans. So, okay, I think I'm all set. As you can see, there is already something, it's not sharp, I think. No, it's sharp. You can see I have prepared the proportions. You can find how I have been drawing those in the time-lapse version. I'm always putting together a time-lapse version of all the streams, at least as long as the picture did not frustrate me so much that I say I hate it. I want to forget that it ever existed. There are 2 of them on my channel. I dare you to find them. And let me quickly see that I get a paper with which I can protect myself from smudging. You should think that somebody that is drawing regularly has more paper that actually is usable lying around. Let me see. Is there any already used? This one, it doesn't look good, but it will help us for today. It is already used. It should not smudge. Okay, so. Okay. Thank you very much, husband. Okay, good. We will start. So, first thing, of course, wait. I should start recording again. So, okay. First, of course, I have some helping lines I drew for proportioning. I will erase them a little bit more, and then we start. Actually, today I took a little bit longer to decide who to draw, and I went then in the end with Ruffalo as Hulk. I was actually looking at first if there was, let me straighten out the camera. So actually I was thinking first about the Hulk version of Ruffalo, but I decided ultimately then, when I was looking at the options, which pictures are available, there are actually not that many high quality Hulk pictures out there that are really, or that I consider good drawing material. I might at some point go back to it, and perhaps when I find a better one I will draw the Hulk, because I think that could be an interesting challenge. It is a computer animated creature, it's not a real creature. From time to time I like to draw something like that. I've drawn the Miles Morales from the Spider-Verse. Hey, DM Sketching! Hey, welcome! There aren't that many people here yet, so thank you very much for dropping by. It is pretty early, so the first 5 minutes of the stream. So I hope there will be more people coming along. I am mixed. I've seen that you wrote on the Discord. Honestly, it popped up on my smartphone. I've not yet managed to look at the Discord itself, so I'm very sorry. Thank you very much for dropping by. And yes, it is a little bit quiet right now. I'm thankful for everyone that likes to change that, to help change that. I am once again in a transition period of medication, and that is sometimes a little bit difficult. And also in the same at the same time, we have a lot of stuff going on our property here, in terms of working people and stuff that has to be done. So unfortunately not always as much time as I would like. And yeah, sometimes last Friday I had to cancel because I wasn't feeling that well. So yeah, but how are you, DM? How are you? I often, or most of the time, I could almost say all the time probably by now, start with the eyes. I did not always do. By now I'm doing it because eyes are one of the more interesting things also for you as a viewer to see, and a picture without drawn eyes can look quite creepy. So that's why I'm drawing them first, to make it look nice. Yeah, I'm trying to. Thank you very much, DM. That's good. That's great. Good to hear. So, but how to continue now? From time to time I just draw one eye completely and then go to the other one, but I think today sorry, I'm drinking coffee and I'm directly slurping into the microphone. I just realized while I was slurping. I'm very sorry. But today I think I want to draw the other eye too, just for so the outlines for the purpose of making sure that the proportions are pretty good and that they are as correct as I can make them for this portrait. Thank you very much, DM. Yeah, I should, I don't know what it is. Do you know what it is? It has to be something psychological that people are slurping coffee. Is it because it is a warm drink? Is it just because it is warm? Are people also slurping tea? I'm not drinking tea, so an honest question. I don't like tea. Tea is leaf soup for me. I don't really like it. But do people slurp also tea? Because it's not like I'm sitting there slurping my lemonade. I'm not doing that. So it's an honest question. Why are we slurping coffee? This is not that hot that I could hurt myself. So it really feels strange to drink normally. Perhaps I'm outing myself with that, because it is kind of gross to slurp the coffee, but I'm slurping it all the time. I could probably go back to older streams and watch them, and I'm probably slurping happily away without even noticing, right into the microphone. So this could be our first decision. Are we okay with the eyes? Do we think they are more or less correct? I think they are quite the same size. Let's measure. Yep. Are they the same size in the picture? Because that is not necessarily the case, but they are. So around the same size, a minimal size difference. I also have that in the picture, so I would say we're set with the eyes. Proportion wise, size wise. So we can just jump in and start filling them in. So let me see. I will have to sharpen my pencil here. I've actually ordered multiple things, new pencils and stuff, and they should arrive tomorrow. They should have been when I was ordering them, they were scheduled to be delivered today. They were not. So I cannot really use them here in today's stream, unfortunately. But I will receive them tomorrow, and I will probably make some kind of haul video out of it. The eyes are very dark, so this is just a start, and we will draw them much darker. I'm undecided if I will draw them completely with my other really dark pencil, but I think I will actually stay with this for a lot of it. Artab has drawn my portrait. Yes, I have seen that. I've also commented there. I don't think she's probably not pinned it, my comment, so you probably haven't seen it, but yes, I have seen it. How did you like it? I was very honored. It was... I cannot say it was the first time somebody drew my portrait. Funny enough, when I was, I was already posting the time lapses here on YouTube. For a time in the beginning I was streaming on Twitch, and somebody there, just out of fun, somebody also on the Discord, not really active anymore there, and also not really active on Twitch anymore, that person. So he drew also my portrait just out of pure fun. It was actually fun, it was actually cool, I actually liked it, but I would say Arthap's portrait is the first professional one that anybody has ever done of me, so I am very honored, and it is really cool that she did that. I would never have expected that. I have seen that she made portraits of content creators. I don't really know them, because most of them are, I think, Indian, or at least not German, and the eye is completely wrong. I just see that. It is not. We'll have to correct that somehow. Let's see if I can do it. To make it a little bit smaller here, but I think we can still. I'm a bit amazed that I can, because I made it already so dark, but can be erased. It's good. Seems like I have not pressed too hard yet. Pretty cool, right? You can completely recognize me. You can. The eyes are. You can just hide everything else and just look at the eyes, and you recognize me. And the mouth is really also looking like me, and the nose is also really. So it's really cool. The stream description is still the witches. I have changed it, I swear. No, you're completely right. I've actually copied it. 1 second. I have actually copy pasted it, so I have a little bit more in there. But it was the copy paste error that I also copied that. Yeah, you're completely right. Thank you very much for letting me know. Let me just remember what I put in here originally in the Bruce Banner description and enter that. Okay, corrected. Thank you very much. So. Okay. Right. This has to be hidden. And then we can continue. We go for the white in the eye, because it's of course not purely white. It is actually a bit darker. So we will have to make it darker. So of course, what we are doing here right now will not be the only thing that we do to the eyes. We will go back to them at a later point in time anyway. I have on the side where I just vanished, I have the reference picture for myself, the bigger one, so don't be surprised when I vanish for a couple of seconds every now and then. I sometimes have to get closer to my reference picture. And you see the head again. I'm sorry, trying to keep that out of the picture. It's always depends on how I have mounted the camera that is filming it. Sometimes it is mounted better. I've not really found out how the difference is. How I can make sure that it is mounted better. I always say never forget the eyelashes. Even if you cannot see, I can see them here, you can definitely not see them on your small version of the reference picture, of course, but I can see them, and it is very important to draw them even if you cannot see them. I always say just invent a little bit, not too much. So for him, for example, it should not look like he has a lot of makeup on there. He probably has. It is a scene from a movie. I don't think anybody ever was really honestly filmed in a movie without any kind of makeup. But he probably does not have mascara on there. Mascara. At least not a lot. So be careful when you draw eyelashes, but still, even if you cannot really see them, sometimes, or most of the time actually, it makes sense to just invent a little bit. The camera is shaking, yeah, I have to see, let me see, sometimes I have a cable or something that is too much on, that is just resting on something that can move. Normally it should not move. And thank you very much for telling me, because especially in the time lapses, that can look very disconcerting, I would say. Okay, how to continue? Where to continue? We will go, yeah, the eye. We have the white of the eye. Let me see. For that we have the gel pen. And the gel pen lets us put in a bit more details, the white in the eye. You can of course just keep it white, just not shade it at all, not go in there with any kind of pencil, but that is always a little bit more difficult, and most of the time you also it gets a little bit dirty from the pencil, or when you erase, you do not really get it that white anymore. So I personally don't see it as it, you could consider it a little bit of cheating, but I don't consider it. I'm actually of the opinion that every tool makes sense. If you want to use the tool, use the tool. And especially if it is very clear that you have used it, like a gel pen, it is a very common thing to use. So there's nothing cheaty in that. It is a tool. Drawing eyelashes is not that easy. You have always also to be careful that it is not that they are not too parallel, because then they also are looking very unrealistic, very not real. So what I like to do to make them to increase the chance that they look a little bit more realistic in the end is that I haven't done this here, but because they are quite short and they can be very straight, so it's not that difficult. But if they are a little bit bigger, longer, and you have a lot of roundness in them, you should draw not from left to right, but on the left side, on the right side, in the middle, and then you can fill in between, because you will have to change from one direction of a curve to another direction of the curve to make it look realistic. And I, at least, always, when I try differently and just go from left to right, I do not do that correctly, and in the end they look really strange, because yeah, I do not transition that curve correctly. So when you do it like that, actually it is pretty easy, and the only risk you really can run into is that you draw them too long or too short or something, but usually too long. So yeah, second eye is coming along. So I'd often draw on the gray paper, but in this case I opted to go with the white paper because the picture is not that high contrast. I could have gone with the gray one, but actually when I am using the white one I tend to draw in more details. I've talked about that also in my latest video on the commentary for who was that video about? I already forgot. I've drawn so many portraits by now, I sometimes just... Superman, exactly. I've talked about that, I think, because I have also drawn Superman on white with a lot more detail. I tend... It's probably not usually and the rule for everybody, but I tend to draw more details when I use the white paper. I'm automatically a little bit more rough on the gray paper. I think also just because I like that style. I like it rough. Yeah, like with the gray paper. That is pretty good. So see how we go with this. See there, head again. I'm sorry. So not yet sure with the shape. There's a little bit more that I have correct still there. Thank you very much, DM. I'm doing that, as I said, with the gray paper, not that much, but I also like that style. I wouldn't draw it if I would not like it that way. It's not always exactly it. You know me, I am a little bit more critical sometimes of my own work. But of course, the direction I try to draw in is a direction that I enjoy, or I would draw differently. Good, so let's go in with the white stick, because it will not look very, how would you say, balanced. It will not look very balanced before we have also drawn in the white reflections in this eye. Although I will have to darken a little bit around those reflections. Actually, I kind of find that the size 5 of that pen is sometimes not as wide as the size 8 of the same brand. It's a bit strange. I still have to darken it a little bit more. So okay, so this has to be a little bit darker. Now we can go in a little bit with also eyelashes here underneath the eye. We will have to draw in a lot darker there, but I'm considering going to the nose and the mouth to also have them in there before I start filling all in, to decide on how dark I go. Because like actually the nose is I think a good candidate here to decide on how dark I go, because you have the lightest and the dark, quite dark areas around the nose. So once I really shade the nose, we will have a little bit of help to decide how dark we will make it, because that is obviously one of the decisions you have to take. Eyes are popping out of the paper. Thank you very much, DM. That sounds like it's not completely wrong, or at least not aesthetically not a disaster. Just because they're popping, of course, doesn't mean that they are good or correct. I take it as a good sign. So the camera is still shaky. How can I avoid that? I am not sure. Probably perhaps if I just take the, let's see if this helps. Yeah, it seems to help when I shake the desk a little bit. Doesn't look like the camera is joining in. Okay, so that would be more or less the proportions of the nose. Of course, there has to be a lot of shading there. But let's go for the mouth. I will measure it all once we have drawn in a little bit more. So, actually teeth. I'm not a big fan of drawing teeth, but who is? So he is speaking, so he has a peculiar shape because of that. He's in the process of speaking. Let's try to put in the teeth. So he does not have perfectly straight teeth, which I find interesting for an actor. He probably did not actually had a tooth surgery. I have no idea how to say that in English, but you know what I mean. He did not have any dental operations or something to straighten. Sometimes you have those stars which suddenly have perfect teeth, which they did not necessarily had before. So I think they look good for now. The mouth should normally have, of course, also a little bit more shading, but we are for now just putting in as much shading as we need to decide if the proportions are correct. And I think actually we are not too far from where we want to go. I think it looks pretty fan of drawing. I'm not sure if I remember correctly when I said what you are asking, but I think it was about I'm not a fan of drawing teeth. I don't know if you meant that when I was talking about that. we actually do not have a real line here, but this will also be more shading. It is not a hard line. So I think this will be, as I said, this won't be a line anyway, not a hard line, but a shading. But still, the line that was there is not really correct enough to help us decide with the rest of it. Hello Dootsie, Cutie Patootie. Welcome to the stream. Thank you very much for joining. You're asking how often I replace my netted eraser. It's a good question. Not very often. It's actually only the third one I'm using since I started streaming. So let me just calculate. Probably about every quarter of a year. So every 3 months. Something like that. I actually have the next ones already lying here because a friend of mine, I was complaining about the old netted eraser I had, saying that I needed a new one, and they just ordered one from Amazon and sent it to me. That was so nice. So I have spares, but about three months or something. How are you today, Dootsie? How was your day, or did your day just start? So I think we will draw in a little bit more just rough, not at all final shading, to make sure that everything is fitting together as we want to have it. So that means we have some prominent shadows that I would now say that they are important to be represented in the final picture, because they show us some important shapes. And the shape of the lips is not 100%. We will have to go back to those anyway. But it's more important right now for me to have a semi-correct semi-correct sizes and positioning. That's more important right now for me than the 100% correct shape. Good, just searching for a draw stream. Then I stumbled here. I'm very happy that you found my stream. I hope you like it. I hope you enjoy it. So, if you have any questions, if you want to know anything, I always tend to start a little slideshow so you can see what kind of pictures I create. I always find it difficult when I enter a drawing stream and you cannot see much. You can already see a little bit, but when you cannot see much yet, I always take a look at other videos of that channel to make sure or to understand the style of drawing and how it will probably go. So I like to put in from time to time a little slideshow so people know what kind of pictures I'm drawing, what styles. It's a cool name, yeah, I agree, DM. Dudesy cutie patootie. It's fun to say. Do you also have a channel, Dudesy? Do you have a drawing channel? Or are you just drawing for fun? Are you... What are you drawing? Are you also drawing portraits? Are you drawing nature pictures, animals, everything? So I think I'm quite happy with a lot of parts already. I want to draw in a little bit more here to make sure that the eye-nose relationship is also correct, because I think some things are not really as they should be. When I look like this, at least the nostrils seem to be pretty okay. But let's control by bringing it a little bit together to fill in the blank parts here. I use this mechanical pencil only on the white paper. I do not use it on the gray paper because this pencil is not very black. You know, it's quite hard, and it is more of a gray lead. You do not really cannot really go very dark with it. And I also don't want to, but it is quite convenient to use for the shape work. And for shading on the white one, I like to use it for the light shadings because I can stay very light, very yeah, it doesn't go too dark, and I can shade very soft with it, so I like it. And unfortunately I cannot use it. I would like to use it on the gray one, but because of that, actually I have now ordered a couple of other pencils. They are also mechanical. They also have, but they are softer, so I'm really looking forward to them. I should receive them tomorrow. I will do something like a haul video of it, and then of course I hope use them in other pictures, because I hope they are good and I enjoy them and they do what I want, and that is to have more control and do not have to sharpen so often to keep the tip, or of course but there is a sharpener with it, but I hope I will be able to be more detailed with it, because with this mechanical pencil I can, and that's why I'm like using it, because I can have a lot of control over it. I feel like I have more of a control with it than I have with the regular pencil. I'm rambling again. I'm much too long an answer. I'm sorry. It's actually boring. Nothing to see. It's to draw portrait caricatures. That's what I do. Do you have an Instagram where I can see what you're doing? Actually, I will create a scene in the near future where I can show a browser, so I can look at people's Instagram live in the stream, because there are so many talented people coming into the stream, and why not show them what they can do? Something is a little off, but that could be because of the shading. It is quite one-sided yet. But I am not sure. Here we have a darker point. I think the mouth is not correct. Could also be this side of the nose. So let me think. Let me see. How do I check it out? Okay, when I am going down here, I should reach. I should have the dark point of the mouth a little bit to the side of that nose. So let me put it here. I hope that in terms of height I am pretty okay. So the mouth has to go until there. So it's not completely off. That's a good news. But still the shape is also not really perfect. On the other side, when I look at that part, it is pretty okay here. So we can leave it like that. But I think that already works a little bit better. Doesn't look too out of place anymore. Okay. I think we are on track. So then we have here also quite important how would you call that? Shadings. It's not shadows per se. But how should I call those areas which are not important shadows, important shapes? I don't know how to call them. So here we have two. They have to be a lot darker than on the other side. Right now they are the same level of darkness. We have to work on that, of course. But we haven't started yet with a final or a semi-final shading. But I think with a lot of goodwill you can already see where we're going, what we're going for. Can drop the link YouTube is cutting, but you can search Brian Art on Instagram. I think I have even Instagram open here right now. There. Hehe. That's fun. Yeah. That's cool. Digital art. I haven't tried digital art. I'm still a little bit hesitant to do it. Actually, I was thinking about to just try an iPad, you know, with a pencil, with this pen, because I just played around with one once, and it felt surprisingly close to the normal way that I'm drawing. And yeah, I thought, why not try that just as a replacement. My first step into digital drawing, just imitating what I'm normally doing on paper, without using a lot of tools that you can use in digital drawings. So I just decided that now we will be a little bit more courageous and just start with going dark, because this is one of the darkest shades in his face actually. So we want to start there and let that more or less decide how dark we have to go in other areas. Hey Artab, hey Anna, welcome to the stream. We have already talked about you and your totally cool portrait of mine, of me, not of mine. In that case, not of mine. Thank you again, I'm so honored. I already told DM doesn't like the portrait. He did not like it. Nah, joke. He loved it. She, I'm sorry. I said he, I'm sorry. No, just joking. No, I already said DM that it is so interesting that you can just put a piece of paper over the rest of the face and you can recognize me from the eyes, or the nose, or the mouth. So all those components are very much recognizable. So amazing job, Anna, and thank you very much again. So we have to be a little bit careful here, because it's very some delicate areas that we do not want to darken too much, because if we do, it's not that easy to erase there. So let me make sure that we have that as precise as possible. No, thank you, Anna. It is the very first portrait a fellow artist has ever drawn of me, so thank you very much for that high honor. So you notice I am speaking less than in the beginning. I'm starting to concentrate a bit more, and that means that I am perhaps not talking anymore as much as in the beginning. but I hope you excuse that, because from time to time we just have to stop and concentrate on some parts here to make sure that they are correct. The further that we go along, that we come along with the picture, it gets more and more into the area where I have to be really precise and where it becomes more and more final. So it has to be a bit more precise and correct, and that means sometimes a bit more concentration. So, oh, okay, you have to go, DM. Thank you very much for dropping by and for staying for the first hour. So thank you very much, and I hope I see you soon. Goodbye. Also doing traditional, and I can feel the struggle of doing it because it's not that easy. You need proper control on each movement of your hand. That's correct. With digitally, you can move it around afterwards, right? So it does not necessarily has to be 100% correct the first time. But it's not. You can also erase, so yes, but you have more than one try. So I always recommend for the first passes, like I have done, to use a very hard pencil, so you can really remove it without any trace, and just start with that and then go from there. And when you're a little bit more sure, like I am now here, although I'm still not as courageous as I would like to be, because this still has to be darker, then of course you have to be a bit more precise, but you have the possibility to draw yourself closer to that level. You know, you do not have to start right and directly draw lines that will stay there forever. Of course, everyone likes when that happens, you draw something and it is correct, but even the very good people normally don't do that. Not everything is always final. Most of the time you need a lot of help lines and stuff, or a first draft that completely changed through the course of the drawing. So we have now a little bit more. So let's do the same on this side. Eyebrows also are always something that helps you make a picture look like the person you're trying to draw. So fortunately they do not have to be 100% mega perfect, because when you're drawing a star, most of them have shaved eyebrows, or no, perhaps not shaved, but you know, how do you call it when you do it with a pinchy thing? I'm not English, so it's not my first language. I'm sorry, not perfect. So, but you know what I mean. And they're not always the same anyway. So the general, you need to have the general size of the eyebrows and the shape pretty correct. But not perfect. It does not have to be perfect. So don't worry about them too much. So I think they are pretty okay. Well, they have to be a little bit further here when we say this line is pretty correct, and I have measured that before the stream, so I hope it is. Then we can orient with the end of the eyebrows with that, and then we are pretty close, I hope. Okay, so how do I continue? I think we still have to stick a little bit to the nose. And make sure that we have a certain level of similarity there. Yeah, I have this pen eraser, which I also like very much. So those are the two erasers that I'm using. The nettable one I am using mostly to sometimes darken areas, lighten areas up when I draw them perhaps too dark, or to soften them a little bit. And when I have lines, clear lines, or I want to erase a lot of stuff, I'm using the pen eraser, mostly in areas where I really want to correct a shape. For example, here when there is something like an edge coming out of this, so I like to use this then on the side to get closer to the shape that I want. So that's mostly the different use cases I'm using those for. So we still have to make sure here I should not distract myself with drawing other parts. Should stay for now with this area here around the nose and the left eye, so we get this a little bit more to a state where we say more or less a final state, or at least the first draft state. I like to call the what I managed to do in the first stream, or in the live stream, the first draft, because I always work still later on it a little bit. So I always draw lot in the live stream. The live stream is always around 2 hours length, but that normally is not enough for the complete portrait. Sometimes it is, sometimes not. Most of the time not. I'm pretty fast, but not. I actually have started to crank up a little bit the level of detail that I am trying to incorporate into my pictures, so I normally do not manage to complete a picture in a stream anymore, in a single stream. But the rest I'm drawing outside of the stream then, and I am putting that all then into my time-lapse videos. So if you want to check out past portraits, you do not have to watch the complete long live stream. You can watch the time-lapse, and then there you can also see the complete process, also with the first proportion draft that I already started the live stream with, because I think it's not that exciting to see the very first stages again and again in live stream. And also I think when you start already from this proportion draft, it is just a bit more exciting. It is, you can already see where it is going, and so it's I have to think of the live audience, don't I? I try to make it entertaining. Me, I'm okay. I'm a bit tired again, so I have changed medication again, and I'm trying to build up a resistance to the new ones. I notice them. I'm feeling a little bit nauseous from time to time, and sometimes I get quite the headaches. But other than that, I am feeling okay. So it looks a bit dirty because I do not have the rest of the face shaded. At some point I will have to do that. So let me lay at least a little bit more around the eye, a little bit of a foundation, which will probably not be dark enough, not nearly dark enough, but it makes it look a little bit more coherent. You can tell me everything, and I'm always open for advice. If there is something where you think I could improve on, or something I have drawn wrong, I'm very open to any suggestion. Backseat drawing is completely allowed. So So let's see in which circumstances are you watching drawing streams? Are you also drawing right now, or are you, I don't know, cleaning your room, doing homework, or trying to go to sleep? What are you doing while you... Because I have the theory that not a lot of people are watching drawing streams without doing anything else on the side. Try drinking a lot of water to reduce the effects of most medication. I am, although this is not exactly water, it is lemonade, but it is without sugar. I'm not drinking normally too much, but with the last medication I had, I was not able to drink these. I could not eat or drink those sugar replacement things, so I could not drink that lemonade for a very long time. So right now I'm making up for that lost time a little bit. I'm drinking it a lot, but normally I'm drinking a lot of water, and I'm drinking a lot of water. So don't worry about that. I am a much drinker in terms of water. And giving it a little bit more of a three-dimensionality. I think we have to rein this line a little bit in. It's a bit far outside. And then we have to, of course, go darker here. We will do that with this pencil here. Goes a bit darker, but yeah, here also this too. How's your grandma, Anna? You heard about Mark Ruffalo, but you haven't seen him. Yeah. Yeah, he is pretty cool. I'm actually pretty happy. So I know that you are not that big in Marvel movies and you don't know the characters at all. So what I'm telling you is probably a bit hard to follow. But let me try to explain it in a way that you don't need to know it. There was an original... The very first movie actually that is or the first two movies of those Marvel comic book movies was Iron Man, but also Hulk. So there was a Hulk movie. Not everybody knows that this Hulk movie belongs to the Marvel comic movie. So it really belongs to it. It even has one or two actors that come later again also, but the Hulk Bruce Banner character was played by Edward Norton, also a very well-known actor in Hollywood. But he was replaced by Mark Ruffalo, and I'm actually pretty happy because Mark Ruffalo plays a very charismatic Bruce Banner, and also has a bit of a comedic talent, and I think Edward Norton is not really the best comedic actor. He is a very good actor, but not the best comedic actor. Just watching my stream, I'm feeling very honored then, and I hope that you find it entertaining. And as I said, if you need any more tips, if you want to know anything, or if you have any thoughts, always feel free to share. I sometimes Sometimes it takes a little bit longer for me to get back to chat when I'm drawing something that is a bit more challenging, when I'm in an area that I want to make sure that I get it right. But I always get back to chat, and normally I don't miss anything. Probably that's not right. Probably I miss something from time to time, but I try not to. Grandma's fine. Perfect. Great. That's great to hear. You should draw her sometime. She probably would enjoy that. And be proud of her granddaughter and her talent. By the way, for information, I am always streaming starting at the same time, and I'm streaming 2 times a week and have 2 video releases then also, in addition those time-lapse regular video releases. But in the coming days, or in general, there will always be additional releases from time to time. Additional things that I will do. Like, for example, when I get my new materials, kind of a haul video. So I still think that is a bit, and also on this side is a bit too big. On the other side hand, this big, it becomes a bit too small in comparison to that side. So we have to be careful. Leonardo DiCaprio, yeah, but he hasn't played a superhero yet. Actually, I was already thinking about Leonardo DiCaprio and if I should draw him, but I wouldn't know exactly for which role. And normally I'm always drawing role specific and not actor specific, you know, always because of a certain role they have played. So I wouldn't know for Leo for which role I would do it, although I really like Inception, the movie is really cool, so perhaps for that. It's already a little bit older, but it is a really cool movie. That shading was important. It already looks a lot more dramatic now. nose looks much more three-dimensional. It's still not done, of course. On Monday, I and you had uploaded within 2 minutes of each other. Yeah, I had it scheduled. I actually wasn't at home when it went live, the video. So that also I saw your comment, but I had to wait till I could really watch your video, because I wasn't at home. I don't think it's that big of a coincidence, and great minds think alike. So it had to be. So for anybody who has perhaps just now entered the stream, we are drawing Mark Ruffalo today, the actor of Hulk. I think this picture is, I'm not 100% sure, because perhaps somebody in the stream knows perhaps better. I'm just always looking for a picture of a decent size and decent level of details, and this one is a pretty good picture. And I think it is from the Avengers movie. First, but I would not bet my dogs on it. So now we get down to the mouth, and I think that is area that I'm still a little bit procrastinating to go for. I'm not that 100% sure about the mouth yet, but cannot really avoid that for much longer to go for the mouth. So I also have to decide how and with which pencil I go for it. But I will start, I think, with the very light one. Just fill it all out a little bit and then go from there. The mouth also always has a little bit of a different texture than the rest of the face and the skin. Sometimes that is actually the only thing that is different, or that what you can use. That is, I have a red-green color. I have difficulty to see red and green, and the color of the skin is actually, it is red, but there's actually also a lot of green in there, so I do not exactly see skin tones correctly. So sometimes the lips are looking quite similar in color to the skin, but I think that's in general, not only me. So sometimes you have to get the structure, the texture of the lips correct to even show that there is something else but regular skin, if you understand what I mean. I have a little bit trouble to find the right words again right now, so I hope you understand what I mean. watching my Superman. His hair looks great. Ha, yes. I actually am quite proud of that hair. You know that I don't like to draw hair and that I'm not really a fan of how I draw hair, but the Superman hair actually, it worked quite okay. The camera is... It is again. Why is it again moving? Have you deleted that message? I was just answering. I want to read it again. You're always deleting messages. You are so confusing me. What happens when a colorblind artist tries painting in color for the first time? More or less that name, yes. That was my vision one, and I really like how that turned out. I always am thinking about going back and drawing again something in color. Haven't done yet. Not even sure why. Because it was a lot of fun. So... Well, I drew this one picture of Ursula in watercolor also. But I did not like that much. Probably that's the reason. Why is it moving so much? That will be terrible for the time lapse. No idea why. I have to check the setup after the stream. Thank you very much, Anna. Tony's Art Studio, hello! Thank you very much for dropping by. How are you today? So... I will go into the teeth at some point and draw them a little bit more, but I always am an advocate of not overdoing it with teeth, actually just drawing as little detail as possible, because always when you try to put too much detail in teeth, they look always like monster teeth. Never looks good, or at least when I try it. So I really keep the details out of teeth. So I think for a first pass the mouth is okay and close enough. We will have to go back, we will have to come back to it. Grammar is hard, but I think for now it is at a good level. Thank you very much, Tony. 12 midnight. Happy weekend. Is there a bank holiday? Tomorrow is Thursday, right? Normally not exactly weekend. But you're in the future, you know. Hey Bob, welcome to the stream. Hey, how are you? And hey Liana, welcome back to the stream. Yes, of course I'm streaming. It's only 1.5 hours yet that I am streaming. So I'm always streaming 2 hours. I could stream longer today, but I don't think actually that I can concentrate much longer than 2 hours on drawing. A little bit of time we still have. Yeah, exactly. I'm also streaming on Fridays. And Friday is also coming up soon. So actually, just to be careful, I will quickly check that my hard disk is not full. I had that fun not too long ago when I lost a lot of video material because my hard disk was full and all my programs did not warn me at all. Things okay. I have some things going on in life which is making YouTube difficult to keep up, but with priorities. Yeah, I've seen you had one short tutorial video which I actually watched, but as I am not using that program, I actually did not comment on it. I'm sorry. I did not know what to comment. But I hope you're all right. I hope it all will work out and get less stressful for you, because I enjoy your video. Totally self-serving. I want more videos of yours. Yes, of course I do. That's since when I know your nickname, Anna. So first drawing of a huntress. But I really hate that picture. But I did. If you have seen that, go also and check out the. I did a redo of that portrait because the first one I really hate. It's the very first one that I posted. That's right. I should actually delete it because I hate it so much. And if people go there and watch the very first I've done, I think it's not a good representation. But I did a redraw of that redemption piece, so to say, and that I think is pretty good. Actually, still one of my favorites. I'm sometimes not actually that good at drawing women for whatever reason. My men always turn out more realistic. I have no idea why. but that the second portrait of Elea, I really enjoy and think is one of my better ones. Sort of chucked together. I'm okay, health stuff not so good with family, but getting there slowly. So it's getting better. Okay, that's good to hear. But I wish you all the best and that it continues to get better. But take all the time you need and don't stress yourself. YouTube will probably still be there when you're ready and everything is good again. Pretty sure it's still there then. So we are getting there. It is. I feel slow. I'm actually not that slow, but I'm also not that fast. But it feels slow today for some reason. Should not hate it. You just have said everyone has their journey. That is true. That is true. Hey Kira, welcome to the stream. Thank you very much for dropping by. Really appreciate it. We're drawing today. You probably don't know the person, but okay, you know Mark Ruffalo. I would think you probably have seen him. He's a good actor. He has played a lot of things. Oh no, you have seen Hulk also. I know that because we have seen Thor Ragnarok together. So I know you know him. Deleted half my videos one day because of that. You shouldn't. You're also using all the views and everything. So never delete anything, and always also never feel bad about over your journey. So you're completely right. I should practice what I preach. So I will not delete anything that I've ever made. It is a journey. But sometimes people don't realize that the stuff is old, you know. And don't respect that there is a journey and not everything is always at an end point. I'm rambling again. Mom still scolds me about it. Yes, I get that. Guacamole wrap. Oh, that sounds awesome. Can make myself move enough to get food. Let somebody bring you food. Remember the live when I made you say my full name? Yes, we talked about that already. I do. Hardly ever know the people you draw. But this one you know. You have seen him. I know that. I've seen you seeing him. So you might not remember, but you have seen him. So Anaya Aloke. Ananya Aloke. He is the human version of the Hulk, the big green monster from Thor Ragnarok. So this is not just art, it is also a little bit of an educational program for people who don't know actors. But I know I have seen him in a couple of roles, but I would actually right now, from the top of my head, I would not be able to tell you any other roles that Mark Ruffalo has played. On this side we need to get, of course, a lot darker so that we get the correct relationship. But the stuff we have already drawn in here, I actually like pretty much. So I could hurry to try to get a bit more done before the end of the stream, but I am afraid that I would ruin it if I continue too fast. I'm getting to a level where I need longer and longer for a picture, because I want to increase the level of detail that I deliver. So I might have to rethink the one stream per picture approach. Good night, Anna. Good night. Yeah, no, don't worry. Thank you for lurking. So I think this is pretty nice. Actually, I should. This line is too hard. I should make it a bit more. Or the other way around, a little less prominent and a bit more rounded, because it is a quite round area, and then it is mostly represented by the shadows around it, not really by a hard line. Also here, my head again, I'm sorry. By the way, if you are sitting in Germany or in the UK and you want to support my stream, I have put links down in the description of affiliate links to Amazon of everything that I am using for drawing. So if you click on it and buy over those links, I get a little something off of that. And even if you click the link and then buy something else from Amazon, but you entered Amazon over that link, you still support the channel. So if you're planning to buy something from Amazon anyway, feel free to use my link to enter Amazon to support the stream or the channel in general. So I'm already sometimes from time to time here in quite the detailed areas and correcting very detailed stuff, which is a good sign, because we are at a good level where I like what we've done, and therefore I'm already correcting on quite high level. On the other side, on the other hand, I should probably concentrate more on the stuff that isn't there yet at all, so that we get a little bit more progress. It still works. Okay, there was an error with my in my browser window where I am controlling the stream, making sure that everything works, but it seems to have been a browser error, not a stream error. So quite slow how we add more shaded areas to our portrait here. But I think it looks quite good right from the get-go what we're creating here, so I'm happy with it. Welcome back. So, what did you get now? What food? Another guacamole wrap? Or something else? Just for now, complete the shading here. Go upwards. It's not complete, but the base foundation. Of the left side of the face. It has to be a lot darker, just so that we have a first foundation. So that it appears a bit more complete, although that is it looks it looks less complete actually now that I have drawn in that shading, but yeah, we will get there. Actually, this has the potential to become my new favorite one. I actually like it very much right now. That can change completely with a little bit of distance from the picture. That's always why I cannot even finish a picture in one stream, because I always like to take a step back, get a little bit of distance from the picture and come back with fresh eyes. Then you can sometimes see stuff that you completely overlooked the first time around. Areas that you perhaps have forgotten to completely shade. Yes, that happens a lot with me. Although in this picture I've already identified a lot of those areas in this stream, and I hope there are not that many left. But that happens still a lot for me. So that's also why I have to lay down the pencil at some point and just take a step back and come back later with fresh eyes. All of your features are on point and prominent. Thank you very much, Dudesy. This here will be a lot of work to get correctly so that the shape of the face also works. And we are still far away from that, so that has to be a lot darker. And perhaps the shape of the chin probably I will draw the chin a little bit higher. I think we have to get a little bit higher here, but that will also we will also be able to control that with the shading. But I still, although I do not really need to, because it will be shaded anyway even darker than it is right now. But I will just remove a little bit here to see if it helps with the shape of the face. That would take some work. I think here on the side I will have to move this out a little bit. There's a little bit in. It's not really that ideal, but yeah, let me talk about what I will have to do, but that will be all that we have drawn today. So let me just move all of this out of the picture, just for having a status then for the time-lapse video. So, all right, so we have here the status after 2 hours of drawing. I like quite a lot already the everything that we have shaded, not completely, but already a lot to a certain completeness. Here, this is an area where I have to get a little bit darker, to put this all around a little bit darker. Then, of course, this side completely has to still be more or less completely shaded. Here, this is also a little bit too light, I think. The nose, this shape is not 100% completely there, so I will have to also improve in that area. On the top of the mouth also could be a little bit more three-dimensional. The shape of the face, I am not very sure about that, but I might actually, the next step might actually be that I fill in the forehead and then the hair, and that will help me with really identifying if the shape of the face is off. I think I have to move this in a little bit, for example. I will have to check that. Perhaps measure again, but that will be something that I have to check. Then, of course, we need the neck. And a little bit, just a little bit. I never draw too much of the clothes, but I always like to show with a couple of lines, perhaps a little bit of shading, just to show that it's not a floating head, but it is grounded on something. Banana chocolate milkshake. Okay, that sounds very healthy. Enjoy, Kira. Tortillon. What is tortillon? I have no idea what tortillon is. Let me quickly check if I can find that on Google. Ah, those blending stumps. Yeah, I am sometimes using them, mostly on the gray paper. I actually am not always a big fan of it. So when I am shading like this, quite detailed, I normally don't use it because I'm more of a novice when it comes to those blending stumps. And I don't feel so comfortable with them, and that I get the same level of detail in shading yet that I can get with normal shading without them. So I am not always using them. I'm using them more and more, but more so on the gray paper pictures. When you, for example, would take a look at my master from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. It is called, the video is called, let me quickly check. By the way, I like your dress, drawing the master, Buffy Club. There I have blended a lot, but also not everything with that blending stump. I've used that a lot on the Witcher portrait. I've used it not at all on the gray paper for Oz, and I have not used it for Superman, for example. I don't always use it. I've used it for Agent Carter, for example, also, but only for the dark area. So I'm more of a novice. I'm using it sometimes, but not always. My face went away. Why did my face went away? Then I don't have to look into the camera anymore. Let me, where is my, why is, yeah, I know why. I know why. 1 second. I've changed the technical way. Then my face was also not visible in the beginning. That is a shame, actually. Give me a second. You might see me too big in a second. You, yeah, you see me too big. Hello. I'm a bit big now. I'm a big boy. So. Okay, so you should see me again. Goodbye. Okay, thank you very much for being here to see, and I hope I will see you again soon. For everybody else, and especially people that are perhaps new to the stream, I am streaming 2 times a week. This Wednesday stream, it's always at the same time, so 2 hours back I started, and I'm always drawing at that time live on Wednesday and on Friday. Friday is a Buffy-centric stream, so if you know Buffy, if you like Buffy, you should definitely check that out. You can join our discussions, which are not that lively yet, but the more people, the more lively the discussions. On my Discord, you can find the link down in the description. There's the link tree. You find the links there to my Instagram, to my Twitter, Facebook, all of that. If you want to get in contact with me, that's the best bet to go via that. I'm always turning the live streams also in time-lapse videos, so if you want to see past videos, you do not necessarily have to watch the whole live stream. You of course can, it is available, but you can also, if you're just interested in the portrait, less in the talking, you can check out the shorter time-lapse videos of all the live streams on my channel. Yes, so next stream Friday, so day after tomorrow. Yeah, the template pick is supposed to be gone at, in this camera position. In this, it's probably not ideal, but that is at least not a mistake. But okay, that's it for today. Thank you everyone who dropped by and was here. Dudesy, thank you very much. I'm very happy that you found my stream. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you will be back. Thank you very much, Kira and Liana, for dropping by, and Anna was here for a long time, DM, and a couple of others. I hope I did not mention everybody, but thank you very much to everybody that was here. I had a lot of fun. I hope you too. I hope you will be back. Ideally, if you found me for the first time, because of the changes that YouTube has done to the algorithm, click that bell or watch couple more of my videos, or you will probably never see me again, because a subscription is not anymore any sign for YouTube to show you my videos. Tragic but true. Thank you very much for watching. I wish you to I hope you will have a fantastic day or night, depending on where you are, which time zone you're in, when you are watching the video. Thank you very much, and goodbye.